General Jones, Donald Trump has often voiced his discomfort, if not disdain, for NATO. And now the latest reports are that the administration is considering not having a U.S. 4-star in the NATO command structure. What's your take on that development, if it occurs?
Well, I think it would be a cataclysmic mistake, to be perfectly honest. I think the transatlantic alliance has served us well since the end of World War II, just about. The American leadership and the presence of American forces in post-war Europe is something that enabled us to get through the Cold War with such a great ending, at least in my view, where countries from the Warsaw Pact nations are now members of NATO. When I served in NATO, we had 19 countries when I got there, 26 when I left. And especially now with the Russian invasion of Ukraine has really galvanized the Europeans in such a way they feel threatened again, much as they did during the Cold War. So I think that American leadership and commitment to our friends and allies is probably more important now than it has been any time since the end of the Cold War. The defense of Europe is a valid strategic concept that we have to pay attention to. And I think that any significant reduction of American commitment to the North Atlantic Treaty Organization and over 30 countries now as members of NATO would be giving up quite a bit of responsibilities, and strategically would be a big mistake.
How important is NATO for the projection of American power into the Middle East and the military bases that we have in Germany, for example? If we surrender all that, what happens to the American ability to project its power around the globe?
You know, years ago when I was the commander of the U.S. European Command and Supreme Allied Commander of NATO from 2003 to end of 2006, I had some strong discussions with the then Secretary of Defense, Donald Rumsfeld. Secretary Rumsfeld did not want to surrender the control, or didn't want to ask permission from Germany, for example, if we wanted to deploy our troops into Iraq in 2003. And his solution was seriously discussed was, well, we'll just bring our troops home. And like that, you know, I don't have to ask permission. So the answer to that was, you can do that, but if you pull your troops back home, you're going to create vacuums. Vacuums are going to be filled by people that don't share our national interest. And you'll be probably deploying troops more frequently to fight somewhere in the world because you don't have that forward presence. We reached a tentative agreement on the fact that we could reduce some of the permanent-based troops in Europe, but since the defense of Europe was going to be moving to the east, from the Baltics to the Adriatic and the Balkans and the Black Sea countries, you know, it seemed that he was agreeable to deploy rotational troops. And that's what happened over time. It didn't happen immediately because the Iraq War started and it was shelved for a while, but after about 7 or 8 years ago, we started regular deployments of our troops into Eastern Europe, and that's where they are today.